This is Global Watch on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. I am Abigail Okwade. ALEXEI Navalny, the imprisoned Russian opposition leader, has been taken to the hospital after a 20-day hunger strike that has brought international warnings of consequences should he die in jail. This comes 2 days after Mr. Navalny's doctor said his health was becoming worse and he could be dying. In a statement, the State Prison Service said ALEXEI will be transferred to a hospital for convicts located in another penal colony in Vladimir, a city east of Moscow. According to the statement, Mr. Navalny's condition is deemed satisfactory and he was being given vitamin therapy with his consent. The popular critic of Russia's President Vladimir Putin started refusing food on 31 March in protest as he said the prison authorities refused to provide him with adequate medical care for acute leg and back pain. The anti-corruption campaigner, who achieved fame with viral videos cataloging the vast wealth accumulated by senior Russian officials, he said he calls swindlers and thieves, is serving a 2.5-year sentence on old embezzlement charges he calls a lie. On Monday, Germany's Green Party chose Annalena Baerbock as their candidate to succeed Angela Merkel, going against the Chancellor's conservatives, who are locked in increasingly vicious fighting for her crown. The 40-year-old trained lawyer became the first Chancellor candidate for the party. Both Baerbock and her fellow co-chair Robert Habeck had converted the job to lead the party into elections on September 26. Baerbock has never held the government role and has been criticized for her lack of experience, raising doubts about her preparation for the election battle. On Monday, she directly addressed the issue, saying she stands for renewal. She said Germany needs a new beginning to meet the new challenges of the coming decades. With her candidacy, Baerbock said she was making an offer to the entire society. She pledged that climate change was the task of her generation, and she wants the policies of the new federal government to make climate protection the benchmark for all sectors. Now in U.S., the jury will hear a final appeal for both sides on Monday as the prosecution and defense in the murder trial of former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin for the death of George Floyd is set to round up. After 3 weeks of numerous testimonies, expert opinions, eyewitnesses' accounts, and video footage of the arrest, the jurors will provide both sides one last opportunity to be heard before Chauvin's fate is decided. The lawyers will present their closing arguments in the high-profile case. Prosecutors who allege Chauvin killed Floyd on May 25th last year by putting his knees on the back of his neck for over 9 minutes will begin first. Eric Nelson, the defense attorney, is expected to counter that Chauvin was abiding by police training when he and 2 other officers put a handcuff on Floyd in a prone restraint, and that a sudden heart attack and drugs in his system killed him more than Chauvin's knee on Floyd's neck. The 12 jurors will be sequestered to determine the conclusion of the trial. This process could take hours, days, and even weeks. Derek Chauvin is charged with second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter. He has pleaded not guilty on the charges and chose not to testify in his own defense. Reports on late Sunday say 5 people were hospitalized after being shot and badly injured in a drive-by shooting at a liquor store in Shreveport, Louisiana. 4 people were outside the store while 1 person was inside when the shooting happened around 9 p.m. local time. The police said they were still investigating the incident without confirming the number of people admitted in the hospital nor their health condition. The authorities described the injuries as life-threatening, with police on the lookout for a white Ford car. A police spokesman told reporters that police officers were responding to traffic congestion reports when gunshots were heard. According to a local news outlet, 1 victim was shot in the head, while another suffered multiple gunshot wounds. This is the 3rd multiple shooting reported in the United States within 24 hours and 7th deadly mass shooting over the past month. The incident comes amid fresh debate over U.S. gun controls, stoked by an incident last week where a gunman shot 8 people dead and injured several others at a FedEx facility in Indianapolis before killing himself. To the United Kingdom, where Prime Minister Boris Johnson has cancelled his visit to India as coronavirus cases in the country increase and a new variant scientists fear could prove partly resistant to vaccines emerges. Mr. Prime Minister Johnson was scheduled to meet Narendra Modi, Indian Prime Minister, next week, but cancelled the trip on Monday in the light of the current coronavirus situation. Johnson had been under pressure to cancel the trip and put India on UK's travel ban list after health authorities confirmed that the country had 77 cases of a new variant first were identified. It was reported that the decision to add India to the so-called red list is expected as soon as Monday. In a joint emailed statement released on Monday, the British and Indian governments said Prime Ministers Modi and Johnson will speak later this month to agree and launch their ambitious plans for the future partnership between their countries. They will remain in regular contact beyond this and look forward to meeting in person later this year. You are watching Global Watch. More stories on COVID-19, business and sports after the break, so stay tuned. Welcome back. You are still watching Global Watch on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. Still on COVID-19 developments, the Hong Kong authorities announced in a statement that flights from India, the Philippines and Pakistan will be suspended for 2 weeks from April 20th after the N501Y mutant COVID-19 strain was discovered in the Asian financial hub for the first time. The government said that these countries would be classified as extremely high risk after there had been multiple imported cases carrying the strain into the country in the past 2 weeks. Those who have been in the 3 countries for more than 2 hours in the past 21 days will not be allowed to board any passenger flights to Hong Kong. Macau, its neighboring country, will also require visitors who have been to the 3 countries to quarantine for 28 days at arrival. Hong Kong reported 30 new coronavirus cases on Sunday 29th, of which were imported. 29 of which, were imported. This marks the highest daily toll since March 15, as it had recorded over 11,600 COVID-19 cases in total and 209 deaths. The authorities have been urging citizens to get vaccinated for coronavirus, with only around 9% of Hong Kong's 7.5 million residents vaccinated so far. Now in business, the Bank of England and Her Majesty's Treasury on Monday announced the joint creation of a central bank digital currency task force to coordinate the exploration of a potential UK CBDC. The digital currency will exist alongside cash and bank deposits rather than replacing them, the Bank of England said in its statement. The task force aims to ensure a strategic approach which is adopted between the UK authorities as they explore CBDC in line with their statutory objectives and to promote close coordination between them, coordinate exploration of the objectives, use cases, opportunities and risk of a potential UK CBDC, the statement added. The government and the Bank of England had not yet made a decision on whether to introduce a digital banking in the UK and will engage widely with stakeholders on the benefits, risks and practicalities of doing so. The Bank of England will also set up a unit within the institution dedicated to exploring a central bank digital currency. Now we move to sports, where a group of 12 elite English, Spanish and Italian clubs have dramatically split European football by adding the formation of a Super League on Sunday. Premier League clubs Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United and Tottenham will join AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus and Real Madrid. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, UEFA and the Premier League have condemned the move. The club said on Sunday night they were leaving the existing Union of European Football Associations run Champions League structure despite warnings they could be kicked out of their domestic competitions and face legal actions. The European Super League said the founding clubs had agreed to establish a new midweek competition with teams continuing to compete in their respective national leagues. It said the inaugural season was intended to commence as soon as practicable and anticipated that a further 3 clubs would join the breakaway. The ESL ABL said it also plans to launch a women's competition as soon as possible after the men's tournament starts. The competition format will include 20 participating clubs with 15 founding clubs, and there will be a mechanism for a further 5 teams to qualify annually based on their performances in the earlier football season, according to an SL statement. The competition will begin with 2 groups of 10 teams, with the top 3 from each group advancing to the quarterfinals. The teams finishing 4th and 5th would be involved in a playoff to complete the last 8 lineup. The knockout phase would still feature 2-leg quarterfinals and semi-finals before a single fixture final. Real Madrid president Florentino Perez will be the founding chairman of the new league. Still on football, English football club Tottenham Hotspur manager Jose Mourinho has been sacked. He was relieved alongside his coaching staff Joao Sacramento, Nuno Santos, Carlos Lalin and Giovanni Serra, said Spurs in a statement on their website. The former Chelsea, Manchester United and Real Madrid boss was appointed as Spurs manager in November of 2019. His contract was due to run until the end of 2022 to 2023 season. A 2-2 draw on Friday against Everton left Tottenham Champions League finalists in 2019 in 7th place in the Premier League and unlikely to reach the top 4. Chairman Daniel Levy said Jose is a true professional who showed enormous resilience during the pandemic. On a personal level, Levy said he enjoyed working with him and regret that things have not worked out as they both had envisaged. Levy thanked Mourinho and his coaching staff for their contribution. Ryan Mason would take the first team training today, and a further update would follow in due course, the statement further states. And that is it on Global Watch for today. For more updates, do visit our website at www.costvnetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. I am Abigail Okwade. Remain safe, and thanks for watching.